Hey, thanks for joining us here tonight on Going Live with FCTV. Dave, I would ask you the number of the episode, but I bet you don't know.
This is 2.6.
2.6.
Or in Brazilian Portuguese, dois seis.
Dois seis. So, very good. You're learning. And
I'm learning. For our viewers that don't know, and I don't think I've shared this, I will be traveling to Parana State in Brazil from April 20 to May 20 for Rotary's Group Study Exchange program.
Great program. You're going to be doing some vocational days, so you'll be doing Brazilian television?
That's my understanding, yeah.
That should be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you'll be away for 2 episodes that will be airing, and there's a lovely young lady that is going to be joining me as a co-host during that period of time. You just confirmed her the other day? Oh. No, well, Tilly Lee's with us here once again, and a lovely young lady as well, but Miss Jennifer Frame.
Yeah, Jen Frame, our viewers will remember her. She's an artist and very talented. And she wanted to come back on the show, so we took her up on it.
Absolutely. She's going to be co-hosting for 2 episodes there. And you mentioned Tilly, who's with us here again. Tilly, you've been out and about and all over here in recent history.
I have. I did get to go to the 8th annual Egg Extravaganza this past week. I got to see a lot of local artists, different eggs and some crafts, bake sale. It's very nice, and we'll see that here in a little while.
It's a pretty cool cultural tradition and something really special in our area. Not everyone has gotten to experience in the past, but a little bit of Polish and Russian tradition.
Definitely making a comeback.
Absolutely. You know, I have my traditional Easter basket that has all the items you're supposed to put in it to go get blessed on Saturday morning there during Holy Week, and always been a big tradition in my family. So some great things that are going on.
One of my favorite times of year, and we have a couple ladies on today's show that are local Pasenki, and they'll tell us exactly what that means. But they're local Pasenki artists, and actually the coordinator of the Extravaganza event.
Okay, well, why don't we take just a moment and check in with what you got to do there, Tilly?
Yeah. March 17th, St. Patrick's Day all over the country and in many parts of the world. But in downtown Uniontown, a different kind of celebration, as visitors from far and near looked forward to Easter. At St. John Byzantine Church Social Hall, a place that's known for its homemade pierogi, there's a whole lot more than eating going on. People from all over came to this gathering place for the 8th annual Egg Extravaganza. Yes, that's Egg Extravaganza, like Easter eggs. But these just aren't any eggs. For example, the designs for the egg called Pasenki are drawn with beeswax. These artists are very talented and very humble.
If you like to doodle, you can do this. Because it's just lines here and there. It's surprisingly easy.
Giving decorated eggs has been tradition in the old world for many years. The egg symbolizes a source of life. It's given to express love and friendship. Love is expressed differently in every culture, so it makes sense that the method for decorating is different from place to place.
Well, we do the Polish drop and pull technique. There's a traditional way of doing it. You use a high-tech tool, and you just you drop it and pull it. Now that was the old traditional way. Now I've gone a step further, and I started coloring the wax and layering it on top, which gives it a 3-dimensional look.
Not every tool is so high-tech. One example of a more simple tool, a necktie.
These are actually made from deconstructing a man silk tie and wrapping it around the egg and then cooking it in vinegar water, and the design transfers onto the egg.
That artist drove 90 miles from Freedom, PA to share her unique technique. But she's not the only one who's branching out.
Now I have a lot of traditional Pasenki patterns right here and over here, but I've also branched out into the emu eggs.
Okay, so those are the really big ones.
This is an emu egg. This is the natural color of the emu egg. And we use an etching process to reveal the inner layers of color.
Vinegar and even toilet bowl cleaner are used to eat into the shell of the egg and show off that inner layer. If you don't like emu eggs, maybe these eggs will be more your style.
These are goose eggs, okay? And they are boiled in onion skins until they reach this dark brown color, several hours actually. And then using a utility razor blade, we scratch the design. As you go deeper into the shell, you reveal more of the white. This is the technique that Sister Rita here from Uniontown, St. Mount Macrina, has really perfected. She does a lot of the icons.
These eggs are beautiful to behold, but if you guess that there's a lot of meaning beneath the surface, you'd be correct.
This one is actually divided into 3 sections instead of 4 or 8, which is symbolic of the Trinity.
You don't have to understand all the symbolism to have fun at the egg extravaganza. Just ask this little one who is designing an incredible edible egg. Speaking of eating, I met up with Going Live host Matthew Dowling for some of St. John's famous pierogi. They are also serving up pierogi pizza, halushki, and puguch pockets. From the pierogi makers to the egg artists to the people behind the scenes, it's a true team effort.
There's a person who sets up the tables and, arranges that, and a group who takes care of what foods and so forth. So it's not just one person, but it's a lot of people's efforts.
And thanks to the efforts of these good people, the egg extravaganza continues to grow.
It's gaining popularity, but people who have come every year said, wow, this is the biggest crowd ever. So that's a good thing. I know as far as selling the supplies, there's so much interest. People are really buying them, and they're getting the opportunity to try to make the pisanki eggs, and then they're real excited, and they come over here and purchase the materials needed.
If you missed it this year, you'll want to mark your calendars for the 9th Annual Egg Extravaganza, April 6, 2014. For Going Live with FCTV, this is Tilly Lee. May you find some paisanki in your Easter basket and some pierogi on your dinner table.
Okay, well, Tilly, that was exactly the kind of footage I was looking for.
Thank you.
I didn't think we could get through this episode without that kind of a joke.
If our sponsor, Bob, from the Buy Local Network was here, he'd have grounded that one for sure.
He would have. Or he would have
never
wanted
get
to. Or he would have wanted to crack eggs on your head.
That's
you never know with Bob. But good people, they just wrapped up, and I guess it's been a little while, but they wrapped up the USCAA tournament that the local Fayette Chamber of Commerce, as well as
Fay Penn
and the Buy Local Network were very influential with. Great tournament, brought multiple teams to the local area, people to experience Fayette County.
Stimulated our economy, and a lot of events kind of corresponding to that. They had a Monte Carlo casino night at the local state theater. They had a parade through town with the teams, and a lot of our local eateries had some special offers.
So if you're watching the first airing of tonight's episode, because it's kind of rebroadcast some, tomorrow, Saturday, is going to be the Celebrity Chef Cook-Off. Now, we talked with Dr. Frederick Ruthart last episode. 2 episodes ago, we talked with Chef Joe Carey, but we're all geared up for tomorrow's big cook-off. You going to be able to make it, Tilly?
I'll
Maybe?
be there. I think some other celebrities that you all may know
Absolutely.
be there as well.
Dave and
Mr.
I, we're big-time celebrities, so we'll be there in the cook-off.
C-list, maybe.
Yeah. Dave and I, it's last minute. We have to make something tomorrow morning. We've been going back and forth on what it's going to be. I'm really afraid that Chef Mario and Bill Alexander, they're going to outcook us. I mean, I guess it should come without any kind of surprise that they would be able to make something a little more high-end cuisine.
Chef came out of the womb with a chef's hat on, so.
He did?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, so that's tomorrow. I don't know if there's tickets at the door. I think there probably will be, but it's going to be a great fundraiser, and it's all to promote colorectal cancer month, and encouraging people to be aware of those kind of conditions. So it's a great event. It's for a great charity and a great opportunity. But we're going to have a lot of fun out there tomorrow. So what else is coming up on today's show, Dave?
Well, we have my friend and a good friend to Fayette TV here, member of the Buy Local Network, Mr. Dave O'Neill from the Get a Hobby Shop. Tilly was telling me she'd love to stop in. I know she was talking to Dave a little bit before the show. Yeah.
Nice guy, a lot of cool things he brought with him. There's a lot more in the store.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go check it out.
Are you a model builder?
Me?
Have you ever built a model?
Can't say I have.
I was really into
bigger scale
models for a while, like you know, the little.
Cindy Crawford.
No, not those kind of models. No. Well, maybe, but also the little, you know, the model cars and the kits that they sell. You know,
and it's so much more. He has glow-in-the-dark puzzles. He's got Chuggington is really popular with the kids now. The train, it's, you know, top of the line and really fair prices. Dave will tell you a little bit more about that later in the show.
So we'll be talking to him primarily because, you know, there may be some people looking for some Easter basket items. You know, the Easter Bunny didn't bring me a whole lot of candy. Being a diabetic, I was not always able for that.
I laugh at your misfortune there.
Yeah, thanks. But I was always able to get a bag of chips and, you know, maybe some diet soda, because typically I give up soda for Lent. But, you know, so I would get some 2-liter bottles of soda, some bags of chips, and a toy of some sort, which is great. You know, if we're looking at a healthier America, a toy that you can take outside and play with may be a much better option for that Easter basket than some of the fat-filled candies. Now, I know my friends at Colebrook Chocolate may disagree. And
everything in moderation.
You know, so there's probably room in that basket for some locally made chocolate and some toys that you can purchase locally as well. So we'll be talking to Dave in just a little bit. Great show. Chef Mario is going to be making something for us. A Friday during Lent. Not everyone on the cast and crew, you know, celebrate the Catholic traditions, but Chef Mario and myself do. So he's going to be making shrimp today.
Sounds great. Love seafood.
Absolutely. So we have a big show lined up. We have a special musical treat for us that we're going to throw to, and we'll be back right after that, and with these messages on Going Live with FCTV.
I hear the train coming, it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since when I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and I keep dragging on. But that train keeps rolling on down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always dig the boys, don't ever play with guns, but I shot a mandarina just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blow, I hang my head and cry.
Do you have a buy local card?
Yes, I have one.
I do. Yeah, I have one. I use mine every day.
Where's your buy local card?
Use your Buy Local card to save money at restaurants, grocery stores, retail shops, tourist attractions, and service providers. Cards can be purchased online at www.buylocalfayette.org or by calling 724-437-7913.
Savor the flavor of Fayette. Buy local.
Well, hey, thanks for sticking with us. We're here with Going Live with FCTV, joined by David O'Neill, owner of Get a Hobby in downtown Uniontown. Dave, thanks for being with us.
Pleasure to be here, Matt.
You know, we were talking about you a little bit in the opening and a little bit about some gifts that people may be able to purchase for the Easter holiday to include with their Easter basket. And I have some questions prepared for you, but, you know, I'm ready to dig into the toys here. Why don't we take a look at what you brought with you?
Yeah, it's been a long, cold winter, so I thought it'd be really it's going to be fun to get outside and have, you know, have some fun with some remote control things that fly. And so I got a helicopter here. This is the Lighthawk XL helicopter. You can fly this indoors or outdoors on a nice day. You can take it outside and fly it. It's not like the mini helicopters that you might see in the mall. You can only fly those indoors. Those have just infrared controls. This is an actual radio control that you can take this outside.
So about how far away can the controller get from the unit itself?
You can get 100 feet away from.
Okay. So there's a pretty good distance there.
Yeah, on this unit here. Sure. Yep. So would you like me to fly?
Sure.
Okay. Let's fire it up.
I'm sure the camera guys are excited for that.
Well, you guys might have to duck a little bit, but see what we can do here.
There we go. Very nice.
We're just spinning here.
You know, if we weren't in the corner, I'm sure you'd be able to get it across an open room.
They're also durable, and we have all the parts for them if you break something, but we have plenty of parts.
But I guess that's a good thing to mention because you know we bounced it off the wall there. It took a little bit of a fall.
It'll take abuse.
Yeah. And with a kid's toy, that's something I'm sure that's important. So what else did you bring with you here today?
Well, I brought something really new. This is a quadcopter, it's called, from Traxxas, the QR1. It's like you've probably might seen these drones they've been talking about.
Sure.
This is a mini drone, you might say, but you have it's a remote control. You can fly this indoors or outdoors. Also, let's give this a try here. Okay. Well,
that's the magic of live television, you know?
Yes. I think I went to sleep. I have to unplug it, plug it back in.
There you go.
Okay.
It's heading right for you, Harry.
So this is on simple mode. You can get this into an advanced mode. This thing can do flips, twirls. It can do all kind of stuff. We'll bring it back here.
There you go.
So that's the quadcopter from Traxxas. It's a really neat thing. It's amazing the technology you can pack into this little.
Yeah, it's so small. It really fits it right in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, and again, it's durable. Parts are available for them. They're not expensive. This is, it's under $90 for this, ready to fly. I also brought, I'm not going to fly this in here.
Okay,
this is
a little too big to fly?
This is a little too fast. This is the Hobby Zone called the Champ remote control airplane. This comes ready to fly out of the box. Everything you need is right in the box with the battery. This little battery here, just a tiny little lithium polymer battery that flies this thing for about 10 minutes.
Sure.
And the batteries are inexpensive. You can buy extra ones. They charge up in about a half an hour. You can charge up and fly it. Just about anybody can fly this. Outdoors only. It has a nice range. You can get about 300 feet away from the radio with this thing here. A lot of fun. Durable also. It's a foam construction, and the parts are inexpensive if you should break it.
Sure. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about yourself, a little bit about the hobby shop. Now, you're a pharmacist by trade.
Right.
Have you always had a special affinity for the hobbies?
Always. I spend hours in the basement with the Lionel trains and the slot cars, and I built a lot of models. When I was a kid, a ton of models. I spent after school, we'd stop at Dar's hobby shop in downtown Uniontown, and pester him and always buy something little every day. It seemed like we bought something all the time.
So a lot of people may buy their trains or their hobby supplies online. What's the advantage of coming into a store like the store that you have in downtown Uniontown?
Sure, online's a place where I shop. I buy some things online, certainly, but this kind of merchandise it can be a little complex. You might not know exactly what you want. You might want a remote control helicopter. Well, I have about 20 different varieties of remote control helicopters, and I won't let you buy something that's going to be over your head. That you'll get into something, you'll be frustrated with it. You start with the basics, and then you can work yourself up to, you get some skills, you can work yourself up into a better one, and we'll show you that at the store.
You mentioned when you were demoing the units that you have spare parts.
Sure.
That's something that, sure, maybe you can find it online, but if I have something that, has a little bit of damage, I could bring it into your store and say, hey, do you have the part here, where you just can't do that in an online kind of retail situation.
Or you can find these things in a mall before Christmas time. There's a guy in the mall, he's got helicopters. Well, he's gone now.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're not going to find
those
parts anymore. No, you won't find them. But the stuff that I sell, I support with parts.
Okay, so you're also a member of the Buy Local Network. Do you have some special discounts that apply to the Buy Local card by any chance?
Every month we're going to change it. We'll have a certain item. This month it's 10% off of all trains.
Okay.
So I'm going to change that on a monthly basis.
So I set up a train under my Christmas tree. My parents got me when I was born an old Lionel train. I guess that's before they quit manufacturing and now they're manufacturing again, or
Lionel
something
never.
happened with Lionel. They
never stopped manufacturing. They've been manufacturing for over 100 years now.
Okay.
But you might not have heard it, or it's kind of faded out a little bit. But they've been going for over 100 years.
But they're back and they're pretty strong. And,
yeah.
Other train brands that you may carry?
Sure, I carry trains from MTH. That's a competitor of Lionel.
Okay.
We have HO size trains from Atlas, Bachmann. I have N scale trains, a little smaller than HO, and then I also have G scale trains that are bigger than Lionel.
Sure. So let's talk a little bit about your warranty process that works. Are they different with every item, or?
Warranty for Lionel, we are Lionel Warranty Repair Center. Everything you buy, any Lionel item is warranted for a year. We'll fix anything that breaks within a year, no charge. I have a repairman who works for me. And after a year, he can fix any Lionel train. It's 50 years old. He can restore it, make it like new.
Sure. Are trains more popular one time of the year than another, or?
Christmas time is train time.
Train time?
Yeah, that's train time. So our big train time is before Christmas and a little bit after, and then that'll slow down in the summer for sure.
Sure. So we've mentioned a few times that your location's in downtown Uniontown. Why don't you describe exactly where you are?
Well, I'm right on Main Street, right next to the Woodlands World, right next door.
Okay. And do you have a website as well, or a Facebook page, any electronic way to get a hold of you?
Sure. Website is www.getahobby.net. And the Facebook, you could search for me on Facebook just search for Get a Hobby, Uniontown, PA. And you can find us, and we'd appreciate some likes.
Okay.
We love the likes.
That would be great. Now, I understand that the New England Journal of Medicine said that hobbyists, people that engage in these kind of hobbies, live longer and happier lives. Has that been your experience in observing your clientele, the people that come in? Are they happier? Do they live longer?
I think my customers are very happy. I love it when my customers come in. The older folks will come in, and they're still into the hobbies that they've been enjoying since they were kids, and they're still having fun with them. So yeah, it definitely keeps you sharp. You enjoy doing something, you're gonna stay sharp.
Absolutely. Well, some great items. I almost called them stocking stuffers, but they could stuff that Easter basket.
Definitely.
So some great items. What's your phone number if someone's looking to get in touch with you?
724-438-7246.
Okay. Well, Dave, we want to thank you for being on the show and for bringing some things for us to play with here today. We'll be back after these brief messages.
Thank you.
A few years ago, I was at a dead end, underemployed, with no idea of where my life was headed. Then I enrolled at the Pennsylvania Institute of Health and Technology's School of Healthcare Careers and discovered a great career and great life was only months away. Now, I've started the career of my dreams, and the future couldn't be brighter.
The School of Healthcare Careers at the Pennsylvania Institute of Health and Technology offers career-focused, hands-on training for these in-demand fields. Call 724-437-4600 or visit piht.edu for information.
Sticking around, we have a great Easter show that's lined up today. Dave, why don't you introduce the ladies joining us for this segment?
Yeah, so we have Mrs. Bayless and Ms. Pillar joining us from St. John, the Baptist Byzantine Catholic Church, both great egg artists and coordinators of the extravaganza event, which our own Tilly Lee had the pleasure of attending.
So you're going to give us a crash course in Pisonki egg decorating. I probably messed that up again. I've been trying.
Fine.
No, we got it? Okay.
Pisonki.
So what does the name mean, first off?
Pisonki comes from the Ukrainian word pisate, which
Okay.
means to write. A lot of people think that the eggs are painted, but they're really not. You just draw on the eggs with this tool called a kiska.
Okay.
And you use beeswax and just goes through a process of different color egg dye. And then you melt everything off at the end and you got your finished product.
This tool, it has a pretty fine point, almost like the size of a needle or
Yes.
smaller.
Mhm.
Wow.
Okay, so how did the tradition maybe start? Do you know a little bit of the history about?
Actually, eggs were prepared by many cultures from ancient times as an art form. And when Christianity came into Eastern Europe in, I would say about 988, any symbolism that was used on the eggs that were made in pre-Christian times was easily transferred over. For example, the pagans worshiped the sun. Well, the sun on an egg would now, with the Christian influence, would mean the Son of God. So the transference of the earth symbols over to Christian symbols was easily done.
Okay, so were you going to do a little bit of a demo on, why don't we get started with that maybe,
Okay.
on how you, you said you don't refer to it as dyeing an egg, you're drawing on the egg. How do you normally talk about that?
It does go through a dyeing process.
Okay.
And
It's a little bit of both.
Right. And it's the batik method, which is wax resist.
Okay.
Wherever wax is placed on whatever color the egg is at that stage, that is the color that the lines will be shown forth when the finalized egg is
So
complete.
let's talk about the egg maybe for a second first.
Okay.
Is it hollow? Is there
This
anything in
is
it?
just straight from the store.
Okay.
I give it a little bit of a vinegar bath
Okay.
just to clean up the shell a little bit, but it's completely raw. And I keep the yolk in until the very end. When I'm done, I varnish it and I blow everything out.
It looks like you've sketched a
Yeah, I have
pattern on
this
there.
one started because they do take a while. So all these lines that I have drawn on here are going to remain white for the rest of the design. And I have a little bit left to do.
Now you put some wax inside the tool, and you referred to that tool as?
Kiska.
Okay. And now you're melting the wax over a flame.
Right, and that's going to melt the wax.
And then it's
just
going to
gonna
come
flow
through that
right out.
needle-like area. Okay.
Wow.
Now that takes a large amount of concentration, I would say, and a delicate hand, perhaps?
It does, but it relaxes me.
Okay. About how many eggs do you do on an annual basis, or is that something you don't really keep track of?
I don't really keep track, but I don't know, maybe between 5 and 8 dozen a year. I
Okay.
work on it throughout the year, not just at Easter time.
I do about 12 dozen
Now for you
at the
ladies,
season.
wow.
Yeah.
Now for you ladies, was this something that was passed down to you from your parents, or?
Actually, it was part of it is part of my heritage, which is Carpatho-Russin, and many of the Eastern European countries also have egg forms that they do. But nonetheless, my grandmother, my sainted grandmother, Anne Sochko, did not show me the eggs as she had done them. But I took a class, and then she saw me doing them, and she said, "Oh, I used to do that." But it was in the time when I think when she was first married, they didn't share their traditions with their family members. They wanted to be recognized as Americans. She was born in this country. Her husband was not, but she didn't share that. And then from then on, after she saw me doing it, she drew me on paper some of the eggs that she had worked on as a child.
Now, I noticed, not to interrupt, but the wax must have built up, so you
Yeah, this is
cleaned
just
it
some
out?
wire I needed to clean it out.
Okay.
And I actually switched to a different tool. This one's a little bit finer. I want these lines to be a little bit more delicate on the egg. So I have 3 different sizes. I have a large one that's used to fill in large areas of color, and then this fine one.
So in general,
is for
most
the
patterns
center.
are symmetrical, right? Or,
Yes.
So those are kind of like a painter has different size brushes.
Right, that's a good comparison.
Okay, so this is a European tradition, like we were just
Eastern
saying.
European, but many cultures do forms of eggs. There are Japanese eggs with the, I believe it's called washi paper, and the Germans do a form of egg. Pennsylvania, you see that the Pennsylvania Dutch folk arts, they have decorated eggs too. Those are originally German. So Julie and I have been in Poland, Slovakia, and Ukraine, where all of those countries have forms of eggs art that they do.
Okay. And now you sent us some photos from a folk art museum over in Poland, and I probably can't pronounce the area in Poland.
Zindranowa.
Okay.
Yes.
So what did you learn there?
Well, those eggs that I sent to you, those were in a museum which Eastern Europe went through pretty much a Holocaust, and that museum was preserving things that were that were found after that time, and those eggs were primarily a form called the drop pool or teardrop egg. And that museum also houses parts of churches that were burned, vestments that were found. Yeah, very, very interesting place. And but those eggs were part of the things that remained.
Sure. So are you ready for the next step on your demonstration?
In the next color. You always start out from light to dark. So typically after the white, the next color you're going to dye it is yellow. So all these lines, again, that I have on here are going to stay white.
Now what kind of a dye is this? What's it made out of?
This is stronger than the kind you'd buy in the store at Easter. I'm not really sure
what
it's made of.
It's called aniline dye, and they are chemicals. You cannot eat the egg that you've used once you've blown it out. Okay. It might have gotten some of that in it. So they're chemical dyes. They're art dyes.
Okay, so that was just a quick bath in the liquid. You're not leaving it in there for very long.
No, the yellow dyes pretty quick. And I actually have one started partway through the process. I'll just put a little bit of lines on here on the yellow egg, and then I'll show you what the next step would be. But let's see, I'm going to use the fine one here.
Now at the end, are you going to take off the wax that's on there currently?
That's the best part, because then all the colors are bright and you could see how everything turned out, because it looks kind of dark right now.
Okay, so while you're working on that, why don't we talk a little bit about the tradition of blessing Easter baskets. It's something that's been in my family for years and years and years, but I see you brought some photos, you brought some lovely baskets with their coverings and so forth. So why don't you tell me about this tradition a little bit?
That tradition also is predominant throughout Eastern Europe in the Slavic countries, and primarily this is the focus of what we bless in an Easter basket are things that people have given up during Lent, which I heard you earlier say things that you gave up during Lent, and they are the rich foods. And what takes place is as people are praying fervently, they're preparing their pisanke, they are also preparing things for their basket blessing. There are many things in the basket, and they all have symbolism. One in particular is the Pascha bread. The rich bread is made with rich eggs. You won't be eating those things during Lent if you fasted strictly. One of the things would be ham, which is shunka, sausage, which is kolbasi, we already know, and those things would be smoked during that time too. Other things that would be in the basket would be a special cheese which is made. It's a rich egg cheese. It's called hudka or sirets. And of course butter. People would be fasting from butter.
I always make my butter into a lamb.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Well, I'm glad that you can add to that part of the conversation. Bacon, slanina is another thing that would be put into the basket. Salt. It's just a necessary reminder for flavor, but they all have symbolism. Horseradish and beets are put in there also, just like a bittersweet remembrance of the suffering of Christ. These symbolisms are all mentioned, and there's also recipes in the St. John Byzantine Catholic Cookbook, Carpathian Cookery. There's a whole section on the Easter recipes and how to prepare a basket.
And that's available at the church. You
yes,
can
it
stop
is.
in and
Yes, it is. Anyway, this custom has just perpetuated. It's come about, and it has become stronger than ever, that we're able to prepare basket covers. People are always wanting them. We prepare them with different language, whatever, if they want it in Polish or Slovak, something like that. Are you ready for your next?
Okay.
Or you want to?
Well, let's hold these up real quick.
Okay.
You brought a couple pictures of the actual basket blessings.
Okay, these are from Eastern Europe. I'm not exactly sure where, but they bless them outside. This is in a church. I don't exactly know where these were given to me. They were, well, we'll do one at a time maybe, out in the country. That's one. And it's done outside Easter morning, though. We do ours at our St. John Church in the evening. This one shows a Baba reaching in the basket. I like to go at St. John's. We have it in the night in the church hall, which you're familiar if you've ever eaten the pierogi there, it's all dark and all the candles are lit in the baskets, and it's
really pretty.
It's beautiful, and I just like to go around and look at everybody's basket covers because I too embroider them. So anyway,
and if your tradition at St. John's is anything like my home parish, we actually bring ours into the sanctuary, but regardless, the smell is
that's what
overtakes you. You know, and it's funny as kids, we were always like they were fighting us off the basket in the car on the ride home because you're trying to pull something out of there.
Right. We talk about that smell, which is kind of like you're waiting for the priest to say, "Go home, you can eat."
With that many hams in one room, I mean and bacon and everything else, kielbasa, yeah.
Right.
So, okay, you're ready for the next step here.
Okay, so this is the egg with the white and the yellow lines on it. And the next step would be to put in red, but I brought one already dyed for you to save some time. And I'm going to fill in the areas that I want to stay red.
Dave, you're catching this, so you'll be able to make these next year?
This is my tutorial, yep.
I teach the classes at St. John's
Okay.
in this, and we have
actually taught me.
Yeah, we have people, and they think their eggs are like ugly because they got all that wax on it. And as soon as they're able to remove the wax, and they say, "Wow," the egg is like bursts forth in beautiful colors, and that's part of the symbolism of it related to Easter too. The egg itself is an embodiment of life, and Christ bursting forth from the tomb. It's likened to that.
So now the next color you're going to use is something a little, you said you're going lightest to darkest, so.
Right, and then after this red, I'm going to dye it in the black, and that'll be the final color, and then we can melt all the wax off and see what we have.
Okay. So while she's doing that, I see you have a stack of some overlays for the baskets.
These are some of the basket covers, and like I said, we have some ladies that prepare them at the St. John Church. We sell them, and we sell them with the different Christian greetings in Polish, Slovak. I've done Romanian. I was recently asked for a national publication to write about the eggs of the Carpatho-Rusyn people, but I also appreciate and study the other types of eggs, which there are different ones other than this. There are beaded eggs. There are ones with the teardrops the wax left on. There are ones with straw placed on in geometric patterns. They're beautiful. I've not done that. One particular basket cover, this is my great-grandmother's.
Okay.
Okay. I'd like to just show that because when they made this, people will go, "Why did they use white?" Wait, I don't know if they can even see that. But that's all they had. Do you know what I mean? They used what they had. And I know it's got some stains and spots on it, but it's a treasure to me. She made her own lace for it. She made up her own design and lettering, which I think is fabulous. It's like in the days before we had fonts. So I use that as a sample.
Wonder how long that one took to.
Oh, I don't know, but it's a treasure. I was very lucky to get it.
Went into that,
yeah,
sure.
and it's a treasure to me. So I collect these, when I can find them. You can find them in antique places too.
So the egg has hopped into the dark color, the black now.
Right. So it'll take about a minute to get up to the color I want.
Do you prepare the Easter bread too, or do you have somebody make
buy
it in
my
your
bread.
family? That's one thing too. It's an art form in itself.
Sure.
The preparation, the braids, there's symbolism in all the things that go on there too. I've taught that. I've taught several workshops on Easter customs, so there are many different symbols.
I've never found the time to make the bread, but everything else.
Look, I have one and keep one in the freezer for display purposes only. But
now you had a cooking demonstration at your extravaganza.
Yeah, John Rigatti. He's the owner and operator of Old World Catering, and he prepares ethnic dishes. And he shows how to make the Easter cheese, and he showed how to make braids for the bread and what the symbols on the bread mean. I mean, there are so many. My family just uses the braid and the little knot in the middle, but it's amazing how many different ones and that there are. I emailed you those couple, so you'll be, oh my, they're so intricate.
So that's come out of the black now,
right?
And it's beautiful right
I'm
now.
blown
But you
away.
said
That's awesome.
You said we're going to take the wax off, and it's going to
It'll
be
really
even
be
more
bright.
stunning.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, I just hold this up against the flame.
Okay.
And then you could see once the wax starts to melt, and you just wipe it off.
Oh, and it's so vibrant after that. I miss anything in
I
your
have
demonstration
the
here today?
final side if you want to see
Okay,
that. This
final
is
side if we could get a
with the
close up
wax
there.
on, and then with the wax off.
That's truly an art form.
Well, thank you for being with us here today, ladies. Thank you for sharing a little bit of the tradition of your faith and your families, and we definitely enjoyed you being here. Hope you
Thank
enjoyed
you.
being
Thanks for having us.
with
Thank
us.
you.
Okay, we'll be back in just a moment with more Going Live with FCTV.
Do you have a buy local card?
Yes, I have one.
I do. Yeah, I have one. I use mine every day.
Where's your buy local card?
Use your Buy Local card to save money at restaurants, grocery stores, retail shops, tourist attractions, and service providers. Cards can be purchased online at www.buylocalfayette.org or by calling 724-437-7913.
Savor the flavor of Fayette. Buy local.
Like a golf clap you have going on there, Chef. So, viewers, thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew this.
I am. Hey, I'm
You
looking
were
at you.
waiting for us. What do you mean?
That's
sticking
true.
with us?
Hey, I was told very early on that the most popular part of any variety show like this is the food.
Right.
And that's why we keep it at the end of the show.
Okay.
We keep them through everything else, and we make them wait around. So
Well,
we'll be,
now they know the trick. They're
They
going to
do.
DVR it, and you just blew that one.
It's like weather and sports, right? Yeah. So what did they wait around for today?
Well, today, as you know, as Bill pointed out to me, it's what day of the week is it? It's Friday. And it's Lent, so we got to do something with fish. And I know Bill loves coconut and pineapple.
Yes, I'm
and
looking
you love
so
shrimp.
pleased. Absolutely.
So I thought, let's do coconut, pineapple, and shrimp, huh?
Hey, that's one heck of a combination. I've never had the pineapple with the coconut shrimp, so
Yeah.
it should be good.
I mean, really, I'm just really hungry, and I thought if I made that, I would get all of
Okay.
it. So, you know,
It works for me.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with, we're going to make a little marinade for our shrimp.
Okay.
So, what I have in this bowl is some organic coconut.
Okay. What's the difference between coconut milk and organic coconut?
Well, one thing is organic coconuts and one thing is organic.
Where do you get coconuts from?
So, yeah.
If they're
it's
not
just-
organic.
You can use regular coconut milk. if you
Sounds
want.
like you've been
It's up
talking to
you,
your
whatever
mother.
you want to do. Anyway, so the staples, and this is kind of an Asian thing here
Okay.
with the coconut, and that's the direction I'm taking it. So the three staple seasonings, if you will, in Asian food are ginger, garlic, and scallions, okay,
Okay.
or green onions. So we have a little bit here that are minced up really fine, if you can get a picture of that. So we're going to take a little bit of this is fresh ginger, okay? We're going to put that in our coconut milk. A little bit of finely minced garlic, and a little bit of finely minced green onion or scallions, okay? And then what we're going to do is, let's use this, we're just going to mix it to make sure everything's incorporated. And I'm also going to add, Matt, if you would grab a few sprigs of cilantro from underneath me. Sure.
The whole thing, or?
No, just a few pieces. Okay. So we're going to throw the spoon in.
Okay. Is that
We're gonna
a special?
Yes, that really helps. Just throw it in.
About
Now
this much?
what we're going to do
Do
with
we
this
rip it
is,
at all? Do
we're
we-
not going to rip it.
we
What
just
you're
put
going to
it
do
in?
is you're going to give it a squeeze like this. Okay? And what that's going to do, much like muddling, when you muddle an herb in a drink, is it
Okay.
just helps release the essential oils.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So now, we have our marinade, and we have our shrimp here. Now, this is wild-caught shrimp. We talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, yeah.
You always want to do wild-caught when you do seafood, period, because the feeds that some of the farms feed them,
Okay.
corn and soybeans, are not good for you. We talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So we're going to take our marinade and just dump it right
Oh, wait, do
over
we
our
do a radio
shrimp.
show?
Yes, we do.
When's that on?
Oh, why don't you tell the viewers?
Oh,
viewers.
every Saturday on 590 Radio WMBS and also streaming online at mariocooks.com.
Very good, Bill.
That's a shameless plug, but that's okay.
But we also hear we're moving too, so.
We may be moving to the 9 a.m. hour.
Yeah,
so
we're moving up in the world.
Keep checking, keep watching, keep looking. So we've got our shrimp here. Now, I would do this, if I'm making this at home, about an hour ahead of time. Just let it sit
Now,
for an hour.
are we making this tomorrow for the Celebrity Chef Cook-Off?
We are not.
Are you going to tell
Tomorrow
us we're going to
we're
make, or
gonna
is this
be-
top secret? So,
Top secret. I
So
want
Matt and
people to
Dave
show up.
can't.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to outcook us, are you? Dave and I have been really worried.
That
you know?
freezer bag from.
Yeah.
She's scared?
A little bit.
What?
A little bit.
You have the meatballs ready?
Every
Every time we've talked food, or you said about taking food places, doing food. What did you do last year?
I'm big patient. We did.
Meatballs, yeah.
But they were successful,
I didn't say anything bad about them. I just said you're going to be doing meatballs. But okay, so we got our shrimps marinated.
Maybe I'm making shrimps.
We'll talk about that. Okay, so we got our shrimps marinating there, and while they're marinating, let's make a dipping sauce.
Now,
so
how long should they marinate?
I said about an hour.
About an hour.
Yeah,
In the refrigerator or on the?
In the refrigerator. Yeah, pop them just like that. I put plastic over them.
Okay.
Pop them in the refrigerator for about an hour. So while they're marinating, let's make the crust first. So we're going to bread these with.
Okay.
So what I have here is some standard breadcrumbs. Okay. So just add a little bit of those. Not
Now,
too much.
they're standard. They're not Italian. They're not seasoned. They're just
plain breadcrumbs. Okay. And then I have some panko breadcrumbs. Okay. And
What's the
panko
difference between panko and regular?
Panko are Japanese breadcrumbs, and as you can see, the texture is different. They're more coarse. They're going to give it more of a crunch, a little crispier.
And that goes back to that oriental flair that you were talking about with the ginger and garlic.
Yep.
And so.
It does. And then we have, of course,
Coconut.
Coconut. So
Is this
we'll just add
organic
that.
coconut?
No. But if I could find it, it would be. Do that over there. And then we're just going to take a spoon here, give this a mix to make sure it's all. Now you can, play with this however you like. You can use more coconut, less coconut, whatever.
When you start to smell the coconut now.
Yeah. I like coconut. Sorry.
There's nothing wrong with coconut. I just don't like it on Easter bunny cakes. I told you that.
Well, we're not making it.
I know, that's why I'm...
Today would be an appropriate day to make it Easter
That's
bunny
true,
cake.
but the best part is it's going in the deep fryer, right?
Yes.
Woo!
Sorry. So we got our coconut breading here. We're going to set this to the side.
I've been preparing all night to do that.
Let's make our dipping sauce, and then we'll go ahead and fry some shrimp, huh? So I just want to let this sit a little bit. So, Matt, you want to do the honors?
I could. Now, I see Chobani. I see our friends.
You want to?
I see Lindsay as I open up.
So here's my thing.
Yeah.
This was my genius. I wanted to do something pineapple with this, and normally you can use either mayonnaise or sour cream or yogurt. So I said instead of getting the pineapple out and going through the hassle, why not just use the Chobani pineapple yogurt, right?
We're sending a copy of this to Lindsay, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They follow you on Twitter.
I know they
Tweet
follow.
it out.
Yes, they follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter too.
Yeah, at Bill Alexander.
Bill Alexander.
So anyway, we're going to mix this just to,
And they can follow us on
get that
Facebook too.
pineapple in there.
The Mario Cook Show?
Facebook.com/Mario Cooks. Yep. So here is our pineapple chobani. Now this is good enough to eat just like this.
Oh, it's excellent. Have you ever had chobani yogurt before, man?
I have, actually. Yeah. You can throw that away. There's a garbage can right there. What we're going to add to this now is...
As a loyal listener, I don't know how you could not... Oh, you have to. That's part of the fan club. You have to have the yogurt.
Fresh or white pepper.
Okay. White pepper is different. I know we've discussed this before. White pepper is different.
Just a bit. White pepper's got, it's a little more distinct flavor. It's a little more assertive. And then in any cooking, Asian cooking,
assertive pepper.
Hold that, please. In Asian cooking,
You're going to taste me, darn it.
Okay, a little more garlic. I'm sorry, that's ginger.
It's late.
A little touch of garlic. And some more scallions.
You know we have to be up in the morning and do a radio show.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
And we're in the Celebrity Chef Cook-Off,
Yes, I know.
so we got a lot going on.
long
So now I'm going to add this is some sweet garlic Asian chili sauce.
Okay.
So we'll add a couple teaspoons of that, a few teaspoons of that. And I'm also going to add a squeeze of fresh lime.
What's a lime?
Got that? Makes it taste good.
You put the lime in the coconut.
Thins it out a little
There
bit.
you go.
It tastes
Very
delicious.
good. I'm
And
sorry.
then,
Bill, you're bringing it back.
Let me make it
I'm
easier.
mixing.
Let me make it easier for you.
Oh.
There you go, buddy. I'm here for you.
I was
I'm
wishing
on your
you would
side.
pull this out.
Okay, so now we got our dipping sauce here. You can go ahead and taste that.
I can.
Yeah, there's a spoon right there. Taste it, see if it needs any seasoning. But I also want to add to that, but I almost forgot, is a little pinch of chopped cilantro. Wait.
Oh.
Okay, and chopped cilantro, that's just going to give it a little freshness, a little kick.
Do we need to do this yet? Woohoo!
Yeah, so we're going to get to that right now. So, Dave, who was kind enough, gave me gloves.
And why do we have the gloves?
Because I'm going to be touching raw shrimp, Bill. Okay. And I don't want to touch raw shrimp.
Is that good?
It's a little hot.
I think it's the idea.
It's supposed to be spicy because the shrimp's
With the shrimp, it'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll put the spoon back in.
No. It's great.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So, we're going to give...
Well, I wouldn't drink this, but to have it with shrimp, that's a different story.
You wouldn't drink that, really? So we're going to set that off to the side. That's our dipping sauce.
Okay, sure.
Now, to bread our shrimp, we're going to go standard breading procedure, which
And
is...
what's that? Oh,
flour, egg wash. Egg wash is just beaten eggs with a little bit of water.
You
Okay?
call it wash, I call it bath.
Yeah, well, we're going to add a little bit of seasoning to our flour. Okay.
Now, why don't you add that to the egg?
Because you really don't need it on the egg. All the egg's job is to hold the breading. So we're going to season our breading here too with a little salt.
Because I heard Julia Child had a reason why you didn't do that.
Yeah.
Can you do a Julia Child voice?
No.
No, you can't?
You can. There you go. That's what we need. Okay, so we're going to take our shrimps.
Really taking this to a whole new level.
We're having fun today.
You haven't listened to a radio show recently, have you?
Mario
sings now. We didn't go into that either.
There's a key. There's a trick to this, right?
Yeah.
When you're breading, you don't want to. That's like a little checker. You don't want to you don't want to bread your fingers, right? Even though I have gloves on. So, okay, go bread your fingers and then try to wash it off and tell me how it happens. So we're going to take our shrimp and we're going to take it out, kind of shake off the excess coconut. Okay. Go right into our flour. Okay.
So, okay, I'm going to ask you this because
Ask me
why would you need to do the egg wash if they're already wet?
Because egg has protein.
Okay.
And the protein in the egg is going to help it hold together.
Okay.
Okay.
And it holds the coconut.
Now, one thing I like to do
Right.
too is you can kind of take these out and give them a little dab of a paper towel just to get the excess
I
out.
have some paper towels
So
over
then
there.
we're going to use that after we fry them.
Sure.
So then we're going to get right into our egg wash. And as you can see, this is my dry hand, this is my wet hand.
Right.
So
Now-
anytime I'm in dry, I'm using this hand. Anytime I'm in liquid, I'm using this
Now,
hand.
could you just, before you put it in the egg bath, could you just deep fry them the way they work?
Just like that?
Yeah. No, just with that.
You can,
Okay.
but you won't have the coconut on it.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so you can open the deep fryer.
For
if you
someone
like.
who just likes
Ready?
coconut,
Ready?
I don't know if that's an issue.
Woo! And then just drop the basket down in.
Oh, drop it. How do I drop it?
Just, do you see that button right there?
This
On the
which one?
handle?
This one here?
Yeah, there you go.
And then do what?
Bend the handle down. Ah, there
Oh,
we
I
go.
like that.
So now
You need to get in here to see that. That was
we're
really
going
cool.
to
I'll do
take
it
our
again. Ready?
shrimps.
Here, we'll do that again. Ready? Pull it back. Ooh.
We're going to take our shrimps. We got our oil 350 degrees.
I was just going to ask.
Okay. And these aren't going to take long. These aren't big shrimp, and you're just going to give them a little spin and drop.
What's the purpose of the spin?
It helps the crust to form, so that if you just drop them, they could drop to the bottom of the basket and stick.
Oh, I
which we don't want that to
Well,
happen.
that makes a lot of sense.
And that's the same reason why you don't put them in the basket and then drop the basket. You put them in this way. Okay. So
I
I'm
never
gonna
knew
do
that.
a few more of
And I
these.
could deep fry. I thought I knew what I was doing when it comes to deep fry.
Here, you want the deep fry, huh?
No, actually, we don't really do that in my house anymore.
You can watch this. Bill, if you want to grab, there's a spoon under there, or there's tongs, I mean. You see the tongs?
Yeah. Tongs? There you
And
go,
you
Bill.
can go ahead and just kind of give them a little nudge, just till they're golden brown.
So
And
you
then
said not
if you want
long.
to hand him that.
Now, what classifies as golden brown?
Let them go for. They're probably going to take 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and. Do you have more gloves? Where's
Uh,
Dave?
I think Dave could bring us more
Do you have
gloves.
more gloves?
I'd love to get my hands in
Yeah, I
there.
want to get you in here and read some of these. So it's a
Because I'm-
fairly simple procedure.
I'm one that breaks their fingers. You know, I've
Yeah.
never, you know,
See, dry hand.
dry hand, wet hand.
How are we looking over there? Nice?
We're looking golden brown.
Another minute or so.
Get in there?
Yeah, almost. Real close. So you glove up,
I'm gloving up.
and then I'll move out of the way. And you know how to bread them now?
I know. One
Dry
to wet
hand,
hand, one to dry
wet
hand.
hand, right.
Yeah. You know he's going to try to make this tomorrow at the Celebrity Chef Cook-Off.
Come there. Come to this cook-off. You can have some coconut shrimp. Compliments of Coordinated 360.
Most likely.
They may be served. That's good.
That's it?
Nice. Yeah.
See
They
that?
may be served over meatballs.
They
Or
may,
with
but-
meatballs.
or with meatballs.
So go ahead, Matt.
Okay.
Bread some shrimp.
So we
Now,
got wet hands.
Another very important thing. As soon as the shrimp come out of the fryer, you're
Yeah.
gonna season. Okay. Salt and a little touch of pepper. Okay, that's when the seasoning's really gonna stick and it's gonna take. If you wait, it's not gonna work. So.
Do this.
I'm gonna bowl up some of this sauce.
Bowling up the sauce. So now, do you do multiple ones at a time?
Oh. There, you can throw them. Yeah, you can do
Oh,
like,
yeah, plus, you do.
you can do like 5 or so at a time.
So we're gonna
And
use
these
a
are also
skin.
gonna get bigger shrimp if you like.
Okay.
I mean, I
Would
just.
that be
love
like the colossal shrimp?
Yeah, I mean, the ones that I got are a little smaller. I believe those are 3160s.
Now, how do they measure shrimp?
Well, they measure them by a number. So those ones I believe are 3160s. What that means is there's 31 to 60 shrimp in a pound.
Oh,
Okay. So the smaller the number, the bigger the shrimp.
I thought there was some guy with a little ruler that was measuring, but there was like some shrimp.
Like if you get like 10, 12, those are going to be huge.
I did not, okay,
So-
I learned something new. I did not know that.
I always thought it was like some cryptic numbering
I did
system
too.
they
I
were
thought
using.
they were like little piggies.
Like I said, you can get whatever size shrimp you like. The reason I got these ones, these were the biggest ones I could find that were wild caught.
Okay.
So again, a little better for you. So while you're doing that.
Now, were these frozen or were these
They were
raw?
frozen.
They
yes,
were
they were
frozen. So you can use them, just let them thaw.
Yeah, let them thaw, take off the shell, pull out the mud vein, it's in the back, and then you can use them as is. That's all that we did with those ones. Do you want to pass me that plate right there? I'll get those off of there for you.
Sure.
We got ourselves a little fish fry here.
We do. It's like a volunteer fire department. Hey,
But
did
I just
either-
hope there's no fires.
That we've had
We
those
have,
before.
yes. Again, as soon as they come out of the fryer, you want to season.
See, this is like a delicate ballet, Bill.
I like that.
You like how
I would
it's-
have never.
It's,
I would have
it's
never
synchronized.
thought
I didn't know that. I always dropped it right in there.
Yeah.
But hey, for someone who makes meatballs,
We should, the next going live, you should teach everyone how to make meatballs.
we'll make a good.
You and I can come on and you can teach
Now,
us
can
how
you
to
make meatless meatballs?
I can't make meatless meatballs. Mario, can you?
Yeah, it's a pain, but you can. It's almost like making a veggie burger.
My wife makes an excellent meatless meatball,
And
and the
how does she
kids
make it?
actually like them better than real meatballs.
What does she use?
I don't know. I'll be honest.
Everyone get out of the kitchen.
It's not me.
That's what it is. Well, I haven't been allowed in the kitchen
So-
until we started doing the show together.
If you want to get a shot of this, here's the finished plate. We can cut some over so you can see it.
Whoa.
Okay. Slide it all over.
It's like, at least it
It's
is
okay.
That's why we do radio, not TV.
Would you like to try?
Bill?
These ones are cooler. These ones on the side. Those ones
Okay.
stand out.
Yeah, that makes
Let me
me
roll
burn me just a little
Let
bit.
me roll these, and I'm more than happy to do that.
See what we got, huh?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so guys, tomorrow, Celebrity Chef.
Chef Cook-Off.
But
Then-
first, we're going to listen to your show. At what time?
The show's 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
And then
Okay.
we also have, we are going to be podcasting live at Celebrity Chef Cook-Off. I'm sure you'll be there too.
I'll be there.
So, I think we're kind of sharing the table.
Hopefully.
So, yeah, so we'll be podcasting live. So if you go to MarioCooks.com, you can listen to the podcast and, you know, but we would much rather you come and show up.
Yes,
And then maybe you can be part of the podcast. So,
Hey, I'm looking for it. Andrew Stocky's going to be there.
is it?
Yeah.
I interviewed him on the Italian Festival.
Yes, yes,
on
you did.
FCTV.
So there you go. We got it in there. So.
Yeah, we're good friends.
You feed him shrimp, he'll probably talk to you anyway.
Yeah. Well, you're doing the shrimp, right? Over the
Over meatballs. Shrimp
Well,
over
coconut
meatballs.
meatballs.
coconut meatballs.
Something different. Okay, fellas,
Right.
anything we missed here on the segment here today?
I think
we're
so.
good. Okay, so this is something a little bit different. This isn't fried fish for your Friday. This is really
You can
good.
make a
It's
good sandwich
different.
with this.
You could make
Oh,
a
I
good.
can
How
put
would
it
you
on-
how would you make a sandwich?
I put it on bread toast. Use this as like the sauce.
Okay.
And then,
What about veggies?
I don't really think
I don't
it
think you
needs
need
any.
to.
You could get use like kimchi.
Okay.
They make jarred kimchi. I mean, if you make your own, it's even better. They make jarred kimchi.
Give me the
use-
plate before I break
But
this.
I really don't think you need veggies.
Okay. Well, I didn't eat veggies
You can
before
eat
we started the
slaw.
show a year ago.
You can do
That's
that.
but
Yeah.
but now I need to know what's the veggie going to be on the sandwich.
That's true.
You can do an Asian slaw. I mean, baby bok choy would be great.
Sure.
If you blanch it.
You can
pull
do it
out
with a side of
something
slaw,
on it,
too.
Yeah. Side of slaw, but baby bok choy with some like, you can make a vinaigrette with soy sauce, sesame oil, a little ponzu, draft vinegar, and just a little touch of olive oil. And then what you do would go great with bok choy right on top of it.
Hey, Phyllis, thanks for being with us once again.
Absolutely.
Chef
Thanks for
Mario
having us.
Barreca, Bill Alexander.